Good evening on day 23. No, 21. I never get that right. God, why did I say 23? Oh, I don't know. Okay, where to begin? Once again, I have Reason running. You can check the day 20 video if you want to hear the explanation of what I'm doing, but the short of it is I'm rewiring Reason into Cubase, which means I've got the instruments from Reason, which I like for real instruments. But this is just the demo. Okay, so what's the next piece of information? Okay, so yesterday I talked about how I like real instruments. They help me to compose better. I just feel, I don't know, they give me more inspiration or whatever. I feel like synths are, I don't know, they don't have a lot of dynamic. They have a lot of dynamic potential, but it's not front-ended like you say guitar, where it's so intuitive to use. And I do actually have an instrument that can play synths quite dynamically, but I guess I'll leave that for another video. Okay, so like I said yesterday, I feel like when I do these videos, the next day when I'm just sort of doing something else, I tend to come to conclusions, and I'm able to change up or adjust what I think I'm going to do, because I'm pretty shit at this at the moment. But I feel like that, you know, like I've got to actually sort of take steps forward. And one of the things I've always known is that I will never make good music until I accept that I'm going to have a vocalist. Now, the other side of that is that I think I can be a pretty good vocalist. I'm not going to claim that I can sing now, because that's just not true. I have no like formal training or anything like that, but I have done a fair bit of practice into a mic, both scales and singing against music. I'm sure that's probably foolish, the way foolish practice or whatever, but that's just what I did. So I'm going to get a singing teacher very soon, and I've made a deal that I will start singing on tracks in 3 months, and that's a little daunting, because I'm not quite so self-conscious of singing now, but it's pretty much always been a block for me that I need some sort of I need some soul in music. I can't just make instrumental music, and well, I can, but it's just so much more difficult if you're not injecting some soul into it. And yeah, how often do you hear popular music that is just instrumental? I mean, there's a few examples, but quite often there'll be samples, and that's another block for me, because I don't like I can't commit to using a sample from someone else's music if I don't know that they're going to let me use it, or if I can't afford to pay the licensing fee or something like that. So I never dabble with that. But a lot of people just, you know, they just throw themselves into it, and they succeed because of it. But anyway, getting off the topic. So it's the 3-month challenge is on, and today is August the 7th, 2012. So if we're saying 3 months, are we going to say 12 weeks or 3 months? Okay, so let's see what happens there. It'll be what? Let's say it's the first. Let's just say it's Monday. Yeah, I'm not sure. The person that who made the deal with me, I'll let them decide the date. Okay, so I don't really have anything to say regarding the track aside from that. I guess in the next 12 weeks I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to integrate vocals into it, so I may attempt to write some scratch lyrics, which I probably will not divulge, because they're probably going to be pretty Pretty artsy crap. Self-indulgent nonsense. A lot like what I'm rambling on about. So, yeah. So I'm just going to try and make some more music right now. I don't have long, maybe like about 2 hours. Let's see what I can do. The only problem with using Reason, the demo, that is you can't save, or I believe you cannot save, which means every time I load it back up, then I've got to just basically load up all the instruments again. But aside from that, that's a fairly easy mechanic to deal with, really, for a demo. That's a pretty nice demo. I'm sure I will buy it. It's just a question of when, considering I'm now gonna go pay for singing lessons. Anyway, onward. Okay, I'm not sure that yesterday I actually showed rewiring an instrument in Reason, so I just thought I'd just quickly do that. So you're in Reason, you create an instrument. I'm looking for some bass. I'm going to try some acoustic bass. Let's try some jazz upright. One of the problems with rewiring Reason is that you can't really preview sounds too easily. Whereas if I was in Reason, I'd just be hitting the keyboard now and I'd be hearing the sound. But anyway, so I've brought up the jazz upright bass, and then this can get quite clunky. But everything in that comes from the Reason is going to come here. You can talk to any of the plugins to the components of these sounds. Things like, you know, you got your EQ and your reverb and that whatnot. But the one we're going to go for is, so that's the sound there. It's not very loud, so we'll just open up the mixer because I didn't do it before. It's probably not going to fit in this track, but let's just anyway. Right, so yeah, so that's how to rewire. Looking for a bass that might sort of come into this, because I really this was bass. Clearly it's not anymore. It's more of a sort of almost like an industrial sound. Anyway, continuing. Okay, a little more. Need some. I've got a bit of real instrument support now, but I feel like I want some pretty synthetic type stuff, and I do have something that I have not used yet in any of these videos, and that's this. That's right, of course, I own a virus. It's very quiet, and it feels like it has a massive latency on it, which is very strange. Now I can click the live button to make it have better latency, but it's very odd that I'd have to do that. My virus just emptied itself of its RAM. Now its ROM is still fine. I mean, I can still write to its RAM, but it lost all the presets in its RAM. I've got no idea what went wrong. It happened a very long time ago. And I'm gonna try and use this roughly preset. I actually kind of like this. Okay, so I'm gonna try and sort of add this to the track with the strings. It has a fairly sort of a Juno type vibe to it already, so putting in a virus is definitely fitting that mold. Okay, so yeah, I just thought I'd mention that I do have a virus and I am going to use it now. Good evening. This is, I'm going to guess, day 22, I think that's right. Just going to very quickly point out that I did not post a video yesterday, and the reason was I did record some stuff, and some interesting stuff actually, and you've already actually heard it because I'm going to put it on the video. Alright, so forget that. The reason I didn't post a video is I was just so disappointed with where I was going there, and I've decided to take a step back today. I've got 2 hours. I'm going to load up Reason. I'm just going to use real instruments and try to make a standard song structure. And I guess the reason I'm doing that is because I think yeah, I think I may be setting my sights a little too highly on song structures that would work, but if I could actually do them properly. So I'm just going to get back to something basic. You would have heard in the previous video a real song which was done pretty similarly in Reason, and I think that's I like Reason in that sense. I like real instruments, so I'm going to go for that. I mean, one of the reasons I actually had trouble with making music last night was I shifted my thinking to making music for vocals, and excuse me, what I was making was pretty much not a vocal track, and I was starting to yeah, turn into a bit of an idiot because of it. I was just getting completely and utterly frustrated, which happens sometimes. Anyway, yep, so off I go. It's not pretty, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. But what's and all, yeah, here it is.